Hey guys, Ty Hanson here. Quick little video. I got a lot of questions last week on how to rig a tube. There's 5 primary ways that I rig a tube throughout the season. This should cover you all the way from ice out till ice up. Specifically a great smallmouth bait, but it also is a very, very solid largemouth presentation throughout the year as well. And I'll show you exactly how I rig some of these up. I pre-made some of the rigs as far as the tying goes. You can look up any other videos and stuff like that on how to tie these up, but I'll show you specifically how to put the tubes on to make them the most effective that they can be. First thing I'm going to start with is just your standard tube insert. Very simply put, all you got to do is take that thing, wet it a little bit. Normally you want to do it in water. You don't need to be sticking lead in your mouth. And then in the back of the tube, you just press it in. Kind of work it with your fingers here. And so it's all the way up to the very top of the tube. And then, because these are a little longer for these specific heads, just kind of separate the tentacles just a little bit. And then what I always do is take my thumb and press on the eyelet and pull it backwards so that eyelet pops out. And that is perfectly rigged, just like that. Very simple, open wire hook. Don't lose very many on this. With the hook being open like that, using good sharp hooks that we sell here, put a lot of fish in the boat for you. The second rig that not a lot of people use, but it's deadly in the springtime, specifically fish around beds or on breaks and stuff like that, is a drop shot. Now I've got that rigged up there, little size 1 drop shot hook, just a 3/8 ounce drop shot weight in the bottom there. Just like you'd rig anything else on a drop shot, just nose hook it. You can go all the way through and come out the top just like so, and that in the water will stand out, and you can just shake that and the whole thing will just kind of fluctuate there. But like I said, great bedding bait. What I've seen other people do, if you don't want that hook point out, you're around very tentative fish or picky fish, you can actually just stick it directly into the tube and leave that hook point kind of inside there, but right at the nose of the bait, so that way when you set the hook, that thing will pop right out of there, right out of the point there. So that's 2 little different ways to rig the tube onto a drop shot specifically. Very versatile. You can use, again, largemouth, smallmouth. Just excels with like a chartreuse tube like I showed here on a bed. The next way, which a lot of people do this, is just your standard Texas rig. I've got a 3/0 EWG hook here with a little 3/16 ounce bullet weight, tungsten bullet weight. And very simply, just like any other plastic, you want to go straight through the top of the head of the bait, and you want to do about a 1/4 inch down and come out the side. That's going to give you enough room for the bend of the hook there. And you want to thread that all the way up, just like a standard Texas rig. Thread this thing all the way to the top, just so it sits on the shelf of the hook. And then you want to measure where that hook is going to come through, and this one's going to sit right at the bottom of the tentacles on the bottom of the tube there. So that's going to be about perfect. You're going to bend that down, press that hook through, and then that hook should lay just on the top of the tube, top of the plastic right there. What you can do from here is either leave it like that, or you can text-pose it by pressing up a little bit on the plastic and pushing. It's just kind of hiding the tip of that hook just inside of that tube, just like that. That is absolutely perfectly weedless. You can throw this or pitch this around cover, around wood. It'll come through great largemouth presentation, just like so. And you get a little bit of that swirling action that the tube is known for with that presentation as well. And the last one is a heavy punching or flipping presentation. And you'll see I got multiple size tubes here. So this one's going to be a 5-inch giblet baits flipping tube. And I'm running a 5/0 G-Finesse heavy cover flipping hook into this. This is one of my favorite hooks for tube fishing. And you'll see there's something a little different that I do versus when I rig it on an EWG hook. So this one, you're gonna go straight through the head again, and then about another, same thing, about a 1/4 inch down. You're gonna come out at an angle, thread that all the way up above the stop for the bait, or the bait keeper. Thread it all the way up on there, and get that thing situated nice and straight. And now this is where it gets interesting. So with this, again, same thing, you kind of want to measure where your hook is going to come through, but you're going to want to press it up a little bit and just set it just inside of the tube. You don't want to pop it through the other side. This makes this incredibly weedless, and you only have that thin layer of plastic to pop out on the other side when you swing on a fish. So this thing will go through cover really, really well. You don't get hung up a lot. Comes through clean and is very, very durable. You don't tear up a lot of tubes when you're flipping and pitching and punching. But again, I don't normally pop that through on the other side. That hook free floats in there, and when you swing on them, that pressure is going to pop that hook point right through the side of this tube and stick those fish pretty much every single time. Just a very, very good presentation, especially if you're looking for a big bite. That 5-inch tube is a great presentation when you need that kicker fish. And another one that I really, really like to use is actually called the Stupid Tube rig, and very, very good weedless presentation when you're around like some grass and stuff like that, and you want to pop it through. Very, very weedless presentation, but if you want to use a little bit smaller bait, you can rig these on a 2 3/4 inch tube. I've got a 3.5 inch here, and I'll demonstrate that with this is a little different styled hook than the standard one. You can see it's got a slight EWG style bend to it, but definitely a different way to rig this. This one specifically, you're going to want to go through the back of the tube with the hook point first, and you want to kind of maneuver that thing so it's about 1/2 inch back when you come through the sidewall of this tube. You're going to stick the hook point right through the side of the tube. Again, you're going to have to wet the lead. Again, recommend using water, or if you're in the boat, obviously, definitely use that. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide this backwards up inside of the tube. And you're going to want to use your fingers again to work the plastic to get it to a point where you can actually turn the lead inside of the tube. You want to be very careful not to puncture through the side of the tube on either side as you turn this thing around inside there. Just kind of massage the plastic up and over the eyelet inside of the tube. Once you get it turned around there, you can again slide the lead all the way to the point. Same thing like before, take your finger and pull backwards at the eyelet so it lays nice and flat. And then now you can see exactly what I'm doing here. You're going to just measure up where that hook shank is going to come out the side of the tube. You're going to bend that back up, stick it through, and that should lay very flush right along the body of the tube. And again, you can either Texpose this or leave it slightly exposed. The pressure of the plastic by itself will press against the shank of the hook there, the point of the hook, so that way it's very, very weedless. But that would be the Stupid Tube rig. Very, very, very effective around cover if you want to use more of a finesse style tube. Definitely one that I utilize quite a bit in the summertime fishing smallmouth, that or maybe up in some wood in some of the river systems in the area. So those are the 5 ways that I rig a tube personally. Very, very versatile rigs. You can throw these all year, like I said, from ice out till ice up, and they're very, very productive. Hopefully these little bit of tips help you guys and get out in the water and catch some fish.